The age of Sage is really the era of AI in the measurement space, which iSpot, along with our customers and cab members, are spearheading. And the way we look at it is really taking 16 years of intelligence around creative, audience, and outcome, and training AI on that data. Really having the AI use that data as its source of truth for anything related to TV and video advertising, while still leveraging the LLMs to become more intelligent and providing for a conversational interface where not only insights can be retrieved much quicker, you can also do the kind of planning, optimization, and analysis that just simply took way too long before. So that's, for us, step one is putting the ad intelligence in AI and having the marketplace trust the AI before we go talking about the AI taking action on behalf of the marketer. It's really an astonishing amount of data that's not only collected on a daily basis, but then cleansed and processed and deduplicated and have the bias taken out of it and rolled up and put into the measurement system. So we're talking, if you start on the creative side, it's every new creative that goes on air is immediately gobbled into the system. You're talking about all the surveys that are deployed, over 500 survey responses on every creative that comes out. You're talking nearly 1 million airings a day. And then you're talking about tens of billions of impressions collected across smart TV, HCR data, and our direct integration with streaming per day. And then an additional tens of billions of outcome signals, whether it's web signals, or location signals, or box office purchase signals. So it's an astonishing amount of intelligence that's being collected and connected and interpreted on a daily basis. It's actually more than that, it's all of video. So when you think about all of video, you're talking about linear, you're talking about streaming, you're talking about mobile video, you're talking about digital video, and you're talking about walled gardens, especially with the recent integration with YouTube. There's a big difference between outcome signals and outcome measurement. There's a lot of outcome signals out there, and they're actually pretty easy to acquire. So acquiring outcome signals, that's fairly easy. If you have money, you can go acquire them. The first party signals are a little bit harder to acquire because you have to establish relationships with the advertiser, so that's much harder. But outcome measurement is really a whole different field than outcome signals. So in an outcome measurement, first you have to start with what are you measuring and what are you assessing. In this case, we're measuring TV and video and the effectiveness of that. So first you got to have a system that measures TV and video audiences and delivery that's trusted by the industry. That already narrows it down to just like less than a handful of companies right there. But then secondly, you need to bring the outcome signal and match it to the same identity spine that the audience measurement is matched to. And then you got to do both multi-touch attribution to account for all the touch points, and then you got to do lift measurement. You got to have both of those things. Now, typically, you'll have to spend many, many years refining those methodologies and strategies as the marketplace starts adopting them, because the marketplace is going to want to really test out the methodologies and the consistency of the data across all the different platforms they're buying. So for example, at iSpot, we launched our outcome measurement first back in 2017. So think about it, it's nine years ago. And we had to go through many, many years of working with many, many advertisers to vet the methodologies and the lift modeling, building control groups, and get the marketplace to trust it. And then once they trust it, get the marketplace to actually act on it. So outcome measurement is actually quite complex, and outcome signals is just actually a small portion of what it takes to put outcome measurement. But ultimately, an advertiser needs to adopt an outcome measurement solution that sits across all their media buys and allows them on an apples-to-apples perspective to allocate their dollars across the publishers and the DSPs and then optimize within those channels. And that takes many, many years. It took iSpot now 9 years to get hundreds and hundreds of the largest TV and video advertisers to trust and adopt our outcome measurement. We have optimization deals with multiple publishers and DSPs, but Roku is a great example of one where, in addition to providing the measurement of how Roku buys perform from a conversion and an incrementality perspective, we actually send Roku an outcome signal with the permission of the advertiser, because it includes their first-party data, that allows Roku to place the buys against audiences that are more likely to convert based on our outcome data. And then that gets verified by our outcome measurement to ensure that it yielded higher conversion rate and higher lifts. So that's how outcome optimization works. We also have a very similar audience optimization where publishers can reach more deduplicated audiences. So in other words, audiences that were not reached via other platforms. If you think about legacy currency, it was all about measuring the programs and providing a trading platform for buying ads based on the programs they're placed in. So in other words, the ads would always travel with the programs. And that worked for many, many years, and there's an established currency provider, and there's really no reason to change off of that for like legacy linear. However, video is shifting very, very rapidly into streaming, into social, and the linear pie is shrinking. So currency, as it worked in the legacy world, simply doesn't work in this new video world because ads are not bought by programs. They're bought by audiences, and quite often the currency is actually just the logs of the publisher. That is the transactional currency. So with that background, where we're heading is what used to be a system of record for transactions is really going to turn into distributed systems for transactions. There's going to be multiple systems for transacting, i.e. the publisher's own logs. But where we're headed is a centralized system of record for measuring all the audiences, for deduping all the audiences, and tying it to the outcomes. And that's exactly what iSpot is building and has been building for many, many years. We have that system of record that's measuring the ads first, not the programs. The ads first, they're measuring it across all mediums, and it's connecting it all to outcomes. So the advertisers have a central place to reconcile everything.